With the carbon footprint of the best conserving Americans being double the global average, how can one live sustainably and off the grid while still keeping the perks and amenities we've all come to love? Well, follow me, because we're in Basalt, Colorado, getting ready to meet some people who are doing just that.
If current estimates hold, the population will reach 9 billion by 2038. One of the major problems we face is feeding everyone. Diseases are at an all-time high. The current model for food production is unhealthy and unsustainable. There's got to be a better way.
Scientists say that if 14% of the world planted a permaculture garden or some type of garden just in their backyard, we can replenish the entire earth. So we're setting out to find people who are doing things differently. We'll be looking into alternatives to current food practices that are damaging our health and environment. We'll be meeting the chefs, farmers, restaurateurs, and entrepreneurs who are making a difference. And you'll find out just how easy it is for you to become a part of the solution. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Hit that like button, subscribe, tell all your friends. We'll be eating the freshest food, meeting amazing people, and seeing what we can do to become a healthier, more environmentally friendly world right here on The Fork and Truth. Hey!
Hi!
Good to see you. How are you, Ginger?
I'm good. Hi, Drew. How's it going?
Hey, Rob. How are you?
Cheers.
Thanks for having us.
Please.
Welcome.
All right.
Come on in.
Welcome.
So when did you begin this journey of building your homestead?
Geez. We used to live in Aspen at 9,400 feet in a teepee, and while living in a teepee, we started a dream book, an idea book of property to own someday. And in that book, we created dreams and visions of property that was going to be off the grid with hydroelectric power and solar and south-facing rocks to build with. And when we found this property, probably a year or so later, so I guess that was about 23, 24 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it was somewhat reasonably priced for the place because it's on a goat trail and a road. So it fit the bill.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And before that was Smuggler Mountain in a teepee?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
We came here for a wedding. We got here a month early and we stayed in the campsite for 4 years after that. So.
When we moved here, we lived in a little cabin down the hillside, no running water, no electricity, and did a small little micro hydroelectric and built a bathroom before our children were born. And
In the cabin?
In the cabin, and then started designing and dreaming of a home that would be big enough for the family of 4 of us. So.
And it was cost effective to do the hydroelectric. To bring the grid in was hugely expensive, and we built the hydro for a fraction of the cost, and we haven't had to pay the man.
That's great. And it looks like you just went foraging here.
Yep, we got a bunch of round mushrooms.
Oh, that's great.
It was so exciting. We've looked over on the south sunny side, this side, because we had about 12 acres burned on our property last year from the July 4th fire, the Lake Christine fire. But these were found at about 9,400 feet on top of Basalt Mountain. The home is built passive solar, so the sun shines in the winter pretty much to the very back wall. We heat the home in the winter months with the masonry stove over there. Has a cook oven, bake oven in the very top compartment, and we also cook on top of this baker's stove here during the winter months to try to conserve energy and not to use propane as well. These are also solar panels that we just hooked up for the hot tub, so we can have hot tubs in the summertime without having to start a fire, because it's a snorkel tub.
There's a photovoltaic panel which does a direct drive to a pump, so when the sun hits the panels, the sun also hits the electric panel and starts the pump.
And then while we were building the house, we built a children's garden first so that our children could be playing while we were building and didn't have to, they could be entertained.
Plus, this is the leach field for the house. We tried to do things as unconventionally conventional as possible, you know, so we could get through the county's regulations. This is the generator. It's better to look at a full-scale model. This is the working duplicate of the generator. Has a little different head on top, but the water hits multiple nozzles, hit the same wheel, pushing this really fast. The water drafts straight down and out. In the wintertime, it goes back to the creek. Summertime, it goes off to a neighbor's field to irrigate. Excess power makes hot water. It's kind of steamy in here. Yeah. And then this is all just distribution. This changes the DC power into AC. And we have batteries. But with the hydroelectric, the batteries don't have to do very much except for make up a big load now and again. So with solar, it would have to drain, fill every day. These just kind of cycle a little bit, I hope. That way, hopefully, they last longer. Batteries being the weakest link of the system.
So how long did it take to build that?
The hydroelectric?
Yeah, the hydroelectric, yeah.
That's a great question. You know, the building took a certain amount of time. I can't remember what. The pipeline, it took us 10 years to lay it. Just because we were trying to work and pay for the place at the same time. But we had smaller systems that worked off the spring line first.
Freeze during the winter months, and we'd be without power and have to limit our use because the propane generator would kick on, and we needed a backup when it froze. But it hasn't frozen in many years now. We've devised a system so that we can turn it off during those cold nights and turn it back on when the cold is done.
A few years ago, Ginger said she wanted a greenhouse, so we built this.
We created 4 different levels inside, where you can enter from the bottom level and be able to exit out the top layer, and in the middle you can enter into the garden.
We used up all the flat space, so had to go for something steep. It's actually cool.
It feels great.
Space, but we ended up not really needing to fire those, plus we don't have
What's this down here?
This is a dunk tank, so when you're super hot taking a sauna, you could go into the cool tank and just dunk your whole body and cool off. We also have a shower behind the door here, so you can also get just a cold water
Oh, that's great.
plunge. So
And usually you run this in the wintertime.
just in the winter times when the fire danger isn't so high.
What are you growing in the greenhouse?
Tangerines, got a fig tree. This is a brown turkey. We also have a blackjack. We have orange trees, kumquat trees. We've got some celery, parsley, oregano, herbs, fennel,
Watercress.
lots of watercress.
It's because it's so shady, the watercress grows in water in the shade. That's fit the bill. You can see all the figs coming on. You can see all the grapes.
So fig season's usually August, September, so at least 2 or 3 months.
The avocados didn't produce this year for some reason unknown, but there's a lot of limes.
It smells so good. Thank you.
Right down here,
Right here.
so we got those shiitakes just coming on. It's so shady back here because of the fig tree that mushrooms do great in the shade, as well as chard and watercress too. and it's edible as well. And this is a maple plum. These will turn bright red.
Which is usually not the case, right?
This is our guest room. This used to be, when we first built the house, our whole family lived in this room while we finished off the rest of the house. And then one of our daughters moved in here, and we moved into the master bedroom. And now we rent it out to permaculturists and people that are passing through.
Filmmakers.
Filmmakers, exactly.
So what's going on over here?
And now my daughter is actually a climbing instructor, so she loves climbing, which is great.
Oh, yes. I got the guts to have it.
Yum.
That is a really good raspberry.
Yeah. These are elderberries. Elderberries. That was tasty.
That was very tasty. Perfect tartness in it.
I have some medicinals here, clary sage and some mint. I think this is an apricot tree. And these are blackberries here. They're gonna have to be full. Those are delicious when they come out. Maybe another couple weeks.
So everything is, for the most part, edible around the property.
Edible, medicinal.
Medicinal,
There are some ornamentals, definitely.
nitrogen giving.
Exactly. They all complement each other.
Okay, we're definitely.
Area. Some sage. More currants. Those are getting good. These are, I think they're Jean von Teet currants.
Nice.
Don't quote me on that though.
No, they're tart.
Very tart.
Lot to pick.
Yep. And some grapes here. When we moved onto the property, there was a yurt already here and a teepee here. And the man that used to live there moved out, so we just replaced it. And then we've had employees live there, but now we're looking to open it up on more of an Airbnb platform and create more of a farm stay type situation where people can take a tour of our place and be able to see what we have going on and have a off the grid glamping experience.
Yeah.
So there's that great outdoor shower up there as well.
Yeah, we pulled this out of a house in Aspen. They're like,
This
you
is
can have it.
beautiful. Yeah, we'll take it.
Our daughter lived here for the last year.
Oh.
Yeah. She's like, I'm out of the house,
Yeah.
moving up here. She was in love with the outdoor shower.
Me too.
Like that.
I'm sure people out there don't believe that you can live sustainably or off the grid and have all the perks and the amenities that you do here. And obviously it's taken quite a bit of time, but do you think that we'll be able to try to shift more and more people to do so? Do you think it's, as daunting as it may seem to just someone who doesn't have the knowledge, or do you think it's very doable for a lot of people?
I think it's completely doable, and I think if the national conscious changes towards renewables, then all the better. We could all be using wind and sun and tidal power or something else. And then
you know, we'd feel better about our electricity. People, Aspen and Basalt, they're buying wind energy and such. I mean, so that's renewable. I mean, I don't think everyone has to get out there and make all their own, but you can vote with your dollars and make it happen.
That's great. Well, thank you so very much for having me at your property, Rob.
Oh,
It was
please,
an
Drew.
absolute pleasure. Ginger, thank you. We have also had the pleasure to stay here the past few nights, and anybody that is in Colorado should come and stay here. Not only will you learn and you'll meet some absolutely amazing folks, but the amenities, and it is gorgeous views, as you can see right behind me, and all of the rooms, and from what I hear from the Yurt, it sounds amazing. So like you said, you'll have probably an Airbnb going soon, and we'll have some links for Basalt Mountain Gardens as well. Thank you so very much for joining us. We'll see you next time.